Let me turn up my 4.5 hour synthwave mix. Obviously, we have the best production value here at Project Bodybuilding. It just fills the space. So we'll let some people come in here. I don't know how many views we will get, simply because there's a bunch of people doing classic Arnold Classic commentary. Simply because there's okay. So there was a lot of women's, not a lot, two women's divisions on before Classic Physique. That's why I pushed this back. But I'll see where we are now. I'd assume they're pretty close to being on. It does say on the Arnold Classic actual live stream, Prejudging for Fitness, Classic Physique, and then Wellness. I don't know if it's going to be in that order. I would assume Classic's probably at the end, so we can fill in the gap, talk about what we may see today, get some final last minute speculation. Anyway, my predictions are on screen right now. I have Ramondino winning. I don't really think that's going to be controversial at all. I'll put up a poll right now. Who doesn't have Ramon winning? Perfect. And I will put the link to this in the live stream. I think that will be helpful because this is free. I can't show it here because of copyright, but this is a free live stream. So I'll give you guys a link so you can watch along. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Loves to smooch. I'm so glad you're finally here in my chat. I've been trying to get you all night. No, so you said it sucks. It's happening during work and school hours. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is. It is what it is. It's kind of like businesses being open 9 to 5, but everyone works in the hours of 9 to 5. All the good stuff happens when you're away or busy. Okay. Pin. Okay, so that link I just pinned is Arnold, the actual Arnold stream. It's free, absolutely free. All you have to do, put in an email, and you can watch the Arnold live stream, and that's great. You know, a lot of people want to say they want to grow the sport, they want to they want to promote bodybuilding, but Arnold's really stepped up his game recently. I mean, he takes a loss on this. I mean, other than paying his staff and athletes, I don't really think he's making any money off of this. So, but he loves the sport, probably more than anybody. So he wants to see it grow, and I'm sure he wants to leave a legacy more than he already has. So he made the live stream free this year, and I imagine this is probably what it's going to be like for years to come, to be honest. Okay, so on screen are my Arnold Classic top 5 predictions for Classic Physique. So in first, Ramon Dino. Second, Breon Ainsley. Third, Urs Kalasinski. And then in fourth, Michael DeBull. Fifth, Wesley Vissers. I have some changing thoughts on this. I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep it the same, but I just used my my predictions video predictions list. I didn't change anything. This is what I predicted. I think I put that video out last Sunday or something like that. So I'm going to stick with it. For Ramon Dino in first, that's an easy win. Remember, he was the only one compared to Chris Bumstead at the Olympia. So, and I mean, if we take a look at how he looks now, basically, he's in shape. All these classic guys can really get in shape because they have a weight cap to make. I mean, really, all he had to do was show up like himself, and he did. Shredded, check. No injuries, check. He's going to be on. So this is going to be, and still, Arnold Classic Physique champion as far as I'm concerned. He was the only one compared to Chris Bumstead at the Olympia. There's just simply nobody else close to Chris besides Ramon. I mean, if Urs were close, he would have been compared. If Breon was close, he would have been compared. So I don't think we need to talk about that too much. I don't know anybody that doesn't have Ramon in first. Now, in second, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. This is probably going to be my most controversial call. And this, admittedly, is a little bit of what I want to happen versus rather what I think would happen. I'm really pulling for Breon in second. So, Breon has gotten so much... He gets shafted just about every time he competes. Ever since 2019, which I think... The 2019 Olympia, which I do think he won, by the way. We'll do a throwback battle of that eventually. But I think in 2019, he won, and I think... Let's see, he did the Arnold in 2022. I think Urs beat him there. I don't think that should have happened. And then at the Olympia in 2022, I don't really see it happening either. And then at the Olympia in 2023, I did a whole video on that. It's on my channel, Urs versus Breon. Urs ended up taking third. I heavily disagreed with that decision. So I see the appeal of Urs. Great legs, great condition, some good poses, but he's missing arms and a back. And I mean, those things are crucial pieces, especially a good back. And I mean, I think Breon, he's coming into this with a rejuvenated weight cap, right? I believe, depending on what he heights in at exactly, he gets to add 5 to 7 pounds from the 2022 Olympia package. And we already saw in 2023 he was improved on that. So if he can just get a little fuller in the legs, that's literally all he needs. A little bit more fullness in the legs, a little more size stuck on those legs after dieting. That's all he needs, and he is top 2. I don't think he can beat Ramon even on his best day. That'd be an interesting comparison, actually. Breon, his best package ever versus Ramon. I don't really see that because I think Ramon is definitely what they want. But I do think Breon is complete enough and classic enough that he should be beating Urs. I don't know if that will be the case. I honestly think it may not be, because the judges just seem to like Urs for whatever reason. Younger guy. He's going to be around for a while. Maybe he'll be in third. Maybe he'll be in second. I kind of look for that to happen. But again, this is a little bit of what I want to happen. So in fourth, this is also going to be one of my less controversial calls, but still a little bit controversial. Everyone wants Wesley Vissers in the top 3. Can he do it? Absolutely. But it's kind of like a Breon situation. This guy looks the part, but the judges simply don't think so. Remember, the last time he competed at the Arnold Classic, he was all the way down in 10th. That was in 2019 or 2018. 2018 or 2019, yeah. And he was 10th. Anyway, those are my predictions. The classic guys are taking the stage now. So Let's see here. Classic guys are on stage now. And I like we have a very tight lineup. Tight lineup. We have 9 or 10 guys, I think. Let's see here. Yep, classic guys are on stage now. So they're just doing the preliminary call-outs. We have in this first call-out Urs, looking really dark in the tan. I think he may have got the color a little wrong. Some guy in the middle, unfortunately, I don't know his name, and that's a problem we can get to a little bit after prejudging, but I digress. Wesley, in the middle of this call-out here, again, doesn't mean much. It's just a preliminary call-out. Looking very on. And then Ramon's right beside him. He got to be in this call-out. And then Michael DeBole is on the end here. So 5-man call-out, and we'll get the other 4 or 5, however many it is, in the next call-out. Again, doesn't mean too much. Michael DeBole's back is underrated, I must say. Like the Christmas tree. I don't know if I have a picture of it here. I don't. But Breon's back is great too. But we'll see Breon in a second. I'm eager to see Breon's legs. Very eager to see Breon's legs. This is something interesting I want to highlight as these guys are coming out and doing just some preliminary call-outs. This is Urs 2 days out of the Texas State Pro that he did after the Olympia in 2023 versus 2 days out of this Arnold Classic. Couple things I noticed. I don't think he's as conditioned. That's okay, because he had conditioning to spare, to be honest. But in the back, I think I noticed a little bit of improvement. I didn't think so. I didn't think it was as improved initially, but I think it is now. Okay, so the next call out, unfortunately, it's another guy I don't know. Basically, only 2 names are Darren Farrell, I think his name is, and then Breon Ainsley in this one. So we'll have a 3rd call out, I believe. Breon turning the wrong way. Got a little confused for the quarter turn. Breon from the back is just stellar. And I mean, honestly, I think I noticed a little bit of improvement there, but I think it's just because it always looks great. And Wesley Vissers looked pretty good. He always looks really good from the front. I think he falls off a little in the back, primarily in the back lower body, because he's really bringing up the actual back. He's bringing that up. But the lower body, the glutes, a little undersized still. Ham's not the most peeled, and because he has long legs, I notice he has trouble posing them effectively. Okay, now it should be the last group here, or maybe that was all of them. I feel like there should maybe be a couple more. No, nope, that's it. So now we're at the individual routines, and now here comes Urs Kalasinski. He's the first one out here. We're looking for arms, and we're looking for back. Arms, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. You know, probably just a little bit more fullness. Yeah, from the side, his arms still look a little stringy, and that's an uphill battle that he'll always have. Now he's turning around to the rear. Now we're looking for back improvement. Honestly, I would say a little. I would say a little there. And this goes back to the photo we saw basically a couple months apart. 2 days out of the Texas State Pro versus 2 days out of the Arnold Classic 2024. Basically, a little bit more fullness, a little bit more meat there, I would say. And by little, I do mean emphasis on a little. Still a weak point. It's still not close to Ramon's back or Breon's back. And I would say Wesley Vissers even still beats him. But it's a little something. And judges are known to reward improvement. So And now we have some dude coming out. I don't know who this dude is, but he's got the classic mustache fro combo. Good look. Okay, Wesley Visser's out now. I mean, Wesley looks great as always. The problem for Wesley is that the judges seemingly don't like his look for whatever reason. I can understand that, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta admit, he definitely does look like Arnold, so you can't get more classic than that. So Rahman is out now. Shredded. Absolutely shredded. I will do a progress comparison almost. I'll compare this version of him to Chris Bumstead, see if he could have gotten closer. I think the waist has gotten a little bit smaller. That vacuum looks a little deeper. Not afraid to show off a couple of poses. And that's a thing from Rahman. We need to see some better posing. It's getting better slowly but surely, but I'd still like to see him a little bit more confident and just actually a little more effective in showing his body parts. And then from the back, it's lights out. If Breon's not second and it's Urs that's in second, Urs loses by default because he doesn't have the back to stand up to that. Yeah, that's probably a Rahman victory. I mean, basically, as long as there's nothing wrong with Rahman, and there wasn't, I mean, this was his show to lose. Simple as that. Now Michael DeBull's coming out. Shredded as always. The lighting of the show, not as good as maybe it was last year. Let's see if I can pull up any pictures. See if Bison tries us anything from Prejudging yet, so we can take a look there. Not quite. Fernando Arroyo. Really like his content. He's quick with it. Nothing out yet. So I'll pop up some HD photos once we have them. I just can't show the stream. Okay, now we have a couple of guys that are coming on. Not to be rude, probably outside the top 5. Okay, I think we're nearing the last guy. I think Breon will be the last man here. So I think we're on the second to last guy. And then we'll get into the call out. And there's probably going to be 3 call outs. I think they'll put someone next to Ramon. Maybe both Breon and Urs, but it's going to be Ramon in the middle. He's going to stay in the middle. And then we'll have 2 call outs depending on who they have left. One more before Breon. So 2 guys left, and then we'll get into the comparison round. And this is Darren Farrell. I better look this up. Yeah, Darren Farrell maybe. I think it's Farrell. No, it's definitely Farrell. Definitely. I'm eager to see Breon up close. We only saw him in the call out. I need to see those legs bigger. Those legs are bigger. I think he's fighting with Urs for second place, which is about as good as anybody can do at the show. But if not, I think Urs is going to take this simply because, even though I may not agree with it, the judges just really like Urs. All right, Breon's coming out now. And Breon was looking really good in his updates, like really good. And I thought the legs were improved there. I think the legs are at least on par with 2023. I'd have to really see them side by side, so not major improvement. I do think he looks a little bit fuller overall, though, especially in the arms. Yep, turning around to the back. Amazing back. I'd say even better than Ramon, just personally. Okay, just want to make sure that worked. Breon hitting the side try. Interesting choice. I think that's a good pose for him. I really do like that for Breon. Good side tricep pose. All right, so he's the last individual poser. Now we're going to get into the call-outs. All right, putting these guys on either side of the stage. Okay, so it's a 10-man show here. Okay, first call out, Wesley, Ramon, Breon. So it's a 4-man call out. So that is the first call out. Okay, first call out, Wesley, Ramon, Breon. And they initially put Wesley in the middle along, say, right next to Ramon. Wesley looks great here, I must say. I personally don't like the boxy look. I know some people think he looks like Arnold, and I think he does in some ways. But I'm infinitely more of a fan of Ramon. Side chest, I would probably go with Wesley. Wesley has a very big chest, and he is like Arnold in that way. Now they're turning around to the back. Wesley is brought up his back, but it's just... I mean, he can get kind of close in the upper back, but his back kind of falls off when you get closer to the lats a little bit. He just doesn't... It's just not as thick and as dense there. I think this might actually be the battle between and Ramon. Favorite classic pose, Wesley and Ramon doing a one-arm pose. Very, very good for both of them. I may even have... I'd probably still go with Ramon on the favorite classic pose there. But they're going to run them through again, so front double. I'll pop these pictures up there once I get a chance. Yeah, Wesley is on here. And I think he's definitely been better, and he's not been moved from the outside. Neither is Breon, but with Breon we kind of expect that. With we definitely did not. Wesley looks absolutely massive here. His quads, no longer a weak point. Maybe the legs from the back are still kind of a weak point. But, I mean, other than that, I don't... Besides the structure, I really wouldn't say anything. Okay. And props to the live stream for actually being functional and in HD, apparently. Okay, so that was the first call out. Let's see if I can't pop up some pictures here. Maybe. Eventually. With any luck. Okay. Here we go. This is taken directly from Prejudging. Directly from the live stream. I'll crop it a little so you guys can see a little better. Link for the live stream is in the chat, pinned at the top. I definitely did not expect Wesley probably being in second at this point. I mean, Wesley looks good. Wesley looks really good. I'm surprised. And they're really rewarding that too, which is good. I mean, he's been shafted for a while, so it's glad to see that he's, finally getting what he deserves, which should be higher placings if you ask me. Even in the back, I definitely prefer him on, and I think he's winning. But I mean, Wesley, for this being one of his quote unquote weak points, he's no slouch here. Not anymore. No, sir. Okay, so here's the front double. Initially, I'd probably go with Rahman. Very, very good flow. Very good flow. Wesley, he kind of has lats, waist. There's not a nice clean line there, a nice flow. Rahman, nice V shape. Wesley kind of has high lats and the boxier rib cage, so it comes out and then down immediately. I'm not a big fan of that look, but in the arms, I do have Wesley, honestly, over Rahman. And Urs, we can't really judge him. He definitely looks a little off, even in the face, and I think you can tell he's kind of disappointed. But they're bringing these guys back out now. It's the same four-man call-out, but now Wesley and Urs are in the middle. Nope. They're switching them around. Rahman and Wesley are back in the middle. So this will probably be the final call-out for Classic, I'd imagine. Yeah. Okay. Urs, I mean, it's as simple as this. He's coming into the show incomplete. No back, no arms. I mean, those are big hurdles. And Wesley, just the way he carries mass. It must have to do with bone density or something. He can just carry mass, more mass than the others. He's probably in second, which I don't think anybody saw coming. I still think Rahman has this. I'll break it down a little bit more once the dust settles a little bit. But Wesley is probably on track for second, I would say. At minimum, Wesley is on track for second. I'll get more of these prejudging photos cropped. That way we can zoom in and really see. Whoops. Yep, they're going to run through these poses again. Great bet. I did not expect to see Wesley in second. Very happy for him. It definitely makes things interesting. I don't think Breon will be the one to get into second. We still have finals tonight, but I mean, these guys aren't going to change too much, especially in Classic. Okay. So while those last photos are loading, we can go through the first one. And that's it. That's the last prejudging call out. Wesley definitely very proud of himself. And that's it for Classic. Classic prejudging. Done. Done and dusted. So that leaves us with some interesting results. I did not expect this. I did not expect Wesley to come on this strong. Okay. Okay. So let's get these other pictures popped up here. Because this was interesting. We may have a new Arnold Classic champion. I don't think Ramon's path to victory isn't narrow, but it isn't exactly wide either. He's still the returning champ. He has that going for him. He's still a great classic physique, still very complete. But Wesley, he's impressed me. He's impressed everyone I've talked to just now. Very impressive. Very impressive. Let's see where you all add a poll in chat. Let me end the other one. Yeah. Okay. Wesley or Ramon? Okay. Poll is in chat. I'll get a couple of these pictures cropped. I'll give you guys my final thoughts, and we'll call it quits for this live stream, and we'll be back tonight at 7. That one will be a little more fast-paced, a little more exciting, I feel. So unfortunately, I couldn't grab both Ramon and Wesley doing the vacuum at the same time. We'll come back to that, though. But they would both do the abs and the vacuum, but they were not doing both of those at the same time. So we'll have to compare apples to oranges on that one. Okay. Great top 4, though. All these guys look really good. I think Urs, unfortunately, did look a little off, though. Whether it be the coloring, maybe he spilled over, or maybe he's just really flat. I don't really see these guys spilling over because they just don't have enough time to spill over between weigh-ins and prejudging. Like, there's just not enough time to spill over, so I think he may be a little flat. Okay. So you guys are currently saying Wesley. Like I said, that's certainly possible. Let's go through the poses here. So on the front double, let's just compare. Let's keep it brief. Ramon and Wesley. Arms, Wesley. Overall flow, Ramon. Legs, Wesley. I prefer those deeper cuts. I mean, but that flow that Ramon has is definitely very important, and it weighs heavily on this pose, whether you have it or if you don't. But Wesley's kind of boxy. That's been a long time criticism. Some people are going to say, no, that's still classic. I mean, the fact is, higher lats, they come out, and then his waist immediately falls down. Ramon has a wider rib cage, and it's a smooth, gradual descent into the waist. There's a prettier outline there. Me personally, I would go with Ramon on this one. Having Wesley as the winner on this one definitely isn't wrong at all, though. And then I would definitely put Breon in third. Definitely put Breon in third. Doesn't have as good of balance as Ramon or even as Wesley, but great arms and still pretty good overall flow. Urs, he is turning away too much, but you can see the arm there, and Urs's color looks way, way off, and his legs don't look as cut as they usually do, or as compared to everybody here. So I'd have him in fourth there. So I'm going to put Ramon in this one, first in this one, for my own scoring. See what you guys are saying, if anything. I got Breon winning. Breon looks amazing. I mean, I love Breon's physique too, but I just don't see that. I'm surprised they're even giving Wesley top 2, and I get it that he deserves that. I fully, he's really impressing me here, but at the same time, I definitely didn't expect it as I expected. Even though he might look really great, I didn't expect the judges to give him the time of day. We'll move on to the side chest. This pose, I've never liked for Ramon. His pecs are way too flat. In the side leg, it's still good. Still a solid side leg. The arm and delt look great because, he has those thick forearms, those thick bis and tris. So they really look good here. That he has a lot of meat there. But he falls off a little in the pecs. Wesley, on the other hand, big, Mark's Max Muscle would say, big man's chest. He's completely like Arnold in that regard. I would say Chris is a little better. That's neither here nor there. He's not in this contest. But Urs, absolutely great. Beats Ramon on the pecs. Beats Ramon on the pecs for sure. In the delt, I have Wesley too. He's bigger, a little bit more capped off. In the arm, I would say it's probably a draw, but you can add the forearm in for Ramon. It's a smaller area. Doesn't matter a whole lot. And now on the side leg, call it a draw. You have a little more glute striations in Wesley's glutes. Some probably a deeper line between the quad and ham. But for all intents and purposes, this is really a draw. And because Wesley's just so much bigger overall and has the better pecs, I have him winning this entire pose out of everyone. So Wesley would be in first for me in this one. I would put Breon in third again. It's a quality versus quantity thing. I've never liked how Breon hits this one. He really hikes his delt up, makes it look great, makes it look massive, but that hides a little bit of his pecs. And I think Ramon beats him in the pecs. In the side leg, I think it's about even, again, for all intents and purposes. I mean, they're pretty close. I'd put Breon in third. Urs is getting another last place here. Skinny arm, skinny delt. Side leg looks a little washed out. I know you could see some cuts in the glute. I think, but other than that, I mean, he's washed out. Simple as that. And then the pecs, he's turning again to the side a little too much. We can't really tell. But I think we can make a pretty educated decision that he is in last. Okay. We'll go on to the next one. Shows are one for the back. At least that's what they always say. I have a clear winner here and a clear loser. Losers, Urs. No hard feelings. It just is what it is. I think it actually came up a little. I think if that's anything you take away from Urs today, washed out, but his back looks a little better. Breon wins this, though. I don't think Wesley wins this. I don't think Ramon wins this. Breon's back is great. And none of these guys can flex their hamstrings beside Urs or Breon. Like, Ramon can't flex his glutes, can't flex his hams. Wesley, with his long legs, he does this weird kind of... He really pops the knee out, and it looks really odd. It just must be really awkward to have really long legs like that, so that's just what he's chosen to do. But Breon, showcasing the glutes, showcasing the hams, and by default, he's winning the lower body, which is crazy to say about Breon. He gets shit on for his legs all the time, but I have him winning the lower body. And in the back, I have him winning as well through the arms and delts pretty clearly too. Breon may not be that good from the front, depending on who you ask, but from the back, he's very respected. Now, between what seems to be the top two here, Wesley and Ramon, I would still probably go with Ramon. Better traps, delts, and arms on Wesley, kind of like the upper back shelf. But in terms of overall back completeness, I like Ramon's lats and the mid-back more. And I think his lower back is tighter and a little more dense, although there isn't a whole lot going on in either guy's lower back. And then the lower body, I simply like his stance more, and it's less awkward to me, so I would probably give him a win there. But I think Ramon is a clear second on this one. His back is a great point for him. Not as good as Breon, but I would still put him in second on this one. Wesley gets a third place. Let's see if you guys said anything. Urs looking terrible. Yeah. Wesley's legs do disappear from the back. It's because he really pops that knee out. I don't really understand why he does that, other than It must be the long legs. And yeah, Urs is looking pretty terrible, I have to say. When he's looking the best from the back, I mean, that says a lot, especially coming from Urs. Now, on the abs and thighs here, take this with a grain of salt. I couldn't capture these guys hitting at the same time. I can tell you right now, Wesley, as blocky as he may look, even in this photo, as blocky as he may look in your own mind, with his great quads and when he actually sucks up into the vacuum, which I don't think is cheating in Classic, by the way, I think he looks quite respectable. You know, he's still a little boxy. Ramon has that better flow down to his waist. But in the quads, Wesley has everyone beat here. Even Urs. Urs's quads look a little washed out. I've never liked how his abs look. Sorry, but he's got to take another fourth for me. I mean, I've personally never liked how his ribcage looks, whether he's doing a vacuum or how his abs lay on the ribcage or his stomach cavity. I don't really like how that looks. I think Breon looks better. He's sharper. His ab separation, his abs aren't as chunky as Urs's. But through the quads, more cuts, and through the abs, I think he just looks a bit drier, if that makes sense. And then Ramon, I think I have another picture here. I'm not going to put it up. This may actually be a Wesley pose for me. I think for now, I will give it to Wesley. Put Breon in third, Ramon in second. So that would mean Wesley in fourth. And then we'll go to the favorite Classic pose. Close call here. It is Marks. I don't have your stream up. I don't know if you're still live. But Marks, who would you go with? Wesley or Ramon? I think this is still Ramon's show to lose. Wesley did a lot to win. I don't necessarily know if that's enough. Okay, let me check something before we get to the... I'm not live anymore. I can join if that's possible. Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to end this stream, and we'll come back with Marks Max Muscle live. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back.